Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're going to be talking about the ACHV Life Sciences ACHV summary for the 21st of July, 2025. In the summary, we're going to be looking at the bullish and the bearish parts of this company. So I generally follow small cap pharma, I do some games, I do a little bit of everything. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot, and thank you. Disclaimer is I do not currently have a position in the stock, and I will explain why I don't in the video. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up by your due diligence, and information given is valid for today, the 21st of July, and the slideshow will not be updated, but as we get new news, new slideshow. So, why am I here? Why am I covering the stock? So the company has had successful trials for quitting smoking, with an NDA occurring somewhere in the second half of 2025, which would put approval in the first half of 2026. This is the first new drug for quitting smoking in a very long time. Previous drugs, $750 million before going generic. So there is definitely a very strong case of how much they could have. The quit rates for both trials exceeded what's on the market now. The data was very strong. We'll go over the data in a little bit. But part two, so to me, I did not know. This is 29 million adults who smoke in the US. About 50% try to quit every year. So the low hanging fruit should be easy to grab. There's 14.5 million people trying to quit once a year. So that is pretty nice. The company has already done their cash raise. They got 45 million with it, with warrants at $3 for another 45 million. So if we look at cash in general, they had 23 million at the end of the last quarter, plus 45 million. And we're going to go ahead and times that by two, because I don't think those warrants are out of sight. That would be 113 million. Of course, they're not cashed, 68 million, with a net loss of 12 to 13 million. So you can kind of see they have the time to get approval and to start marketing, especially if the warrants are approved or warrants are sold. The market cap is only 133 million. So again, we have a potential for high sales. We have a company that is stable with this cash at the moment to get to approval, and the market cap's less than 200 million. Pretty good. But let's go now to the bear sides of things. So, why I haven't bought yet? And this company, like I said, I'm new to it. I'm still learning a lot about it. But really what I'm seeing is marketing, even with a partner, is going to be tough. So, since there's not a specific type of doctor for this, and a large media campaign is going to cost some serious money. When looking at trying to sell drugs, you look at how many people could prescribe it. Obviously there's going to be some cardiologists who are going to look at this and prescribe it, and that might be the number one. But behind that, it's just GPs, and there's a lot of them. So getting this out to the public with thousands and thousands of doctors is going to be pretty hard. The second problem is this is not a long-term drug. So the cycles are between 3 to 12 weeks. So pricing and sales are going to be complicated. We don't have any pricing details yet. But I almost think of this as an antibiotic. We don't have new antibiotics in the US because guess what? They don't sell that much money. They're not a very good, profitable kind of thing because people take them, they get better, and they move on their way. So maybe a person picks up one, Z-Pack or whatever, a year, maybe two. So not a lot of time in that. And then that means there's not a lot of cost for it. They have really no other pipeline. And yes, they do have something for vaping, which I assume is going to pass in the same way. But you can run the same problem. They have only one drug, nothing else in the market. So that's what you're going with. And of course, being a small company with no other products definitely makes this risky. There's a lot of stuff they have to worry about as far as getting to approval and then selling it. They need the staff. They need the FDA to clear all their manufacturing facilities, which, again, not in the US, so could be a problem. It is an oral drug, so that definitely lessens a lot of the issues we have. But, again, small company, no product, pretty high risk. Okay, so we're to the data portion of this. This is the easiest part I have to explain. You can see the ratios for the two trials they have, 32% versus 7 for the placebo, 30% versus 9.4 for the other trial. That was a 12-week cycle. That is great. That data pretty much says, hey, this drug works. case closed. We're good with that. 6-week cycle time, a little not quite as clean. You have 25 and 4, and you have 14.8 and 6. So we definitely look at that third trial as a little concerning, but I don't think it's enough. I think overall the data is fairly strong with the company, and I don't think that's going to be a problem. So the summary is this has potentials, and it definitely can be played in several ways. So I believe we are fairly de-risked until the approval date, which means I think the stock will go up from here until the approval in 2026. When they get that date, you will see a run up in the market. I think that's going to happen. After approval, all bets are off. But overall, I'm still struggling with the patient's market and pricing for the drug. That is something I'm going to have to look into further. However, with its current market cap and the previous drug 20 years ago reaching $750 million in the US, I definitely think it's worth a look. And again, that's what I'm going to do in a moment. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to try to get some more information. We'll present that to you, and we will kind of go from there. So, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.